Tosca Reno here with you, and I'm excited as always to be with you because I want to help you step into the best of the best that is you, that is your optimal wellness. I have discovered through my own personal journey, this is possible for you as it is for me. And everything I have learned on that journey, I'm sharing with you. And so this afternoon, I'm very excited to introduce my friend and also 3E's client to you. We this afternoon are going to share a bit about Natalie's journey and what she has gone through in the partnership that we've created working together as I've coached her over the last few weeks. Welcome, Natalie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Very well.
It's lovely to be here with you. I'm going to start off with probably the tougher questions first. What do they say? Eat the frog first? Okay. The question is, what was it that prompted you to start working with me? Because initially it was the 3E's program. So what was it that created that drive to work with me and then try the 3E's program?
Well, just a little bit of history, I guess, helps that question. I'd actually lost quite a lot of weight and 60 pounds, and really taken it just as a weight loss program and not included, the other aspects that were needed. So I quickly gained that back. After I kind of lost the 60 pounds, I checkmarked that and moved on with my life, and that also involved gaining the 60 pounds back. So I went online and I kind of looked for someone that was my age-ish, and because you go to the gym and you find all these young people and they don't always know how to train more mature people and understand the challenges. So I just came across your name online, and I guess the rest is history, really. I mean, the three components, with the food, the mind, and the body, kind of made sense to me, and I took it from there.
Thank you, Natalie. I take that as a big compliment because Natalie is actually a science-minded woman. Her career is heavily science-based. So initially, I definitely had my work cut out for me, because one of the first things she asked me was, well, how can we measure this? And in a world of wellness where some things are not measurable, that really prompted me to dig deep. But Natalie, on that day, and I almost want to say the very first day we worked together, you had a frightening scare. Something happened to you with regard to your health. Are you willing to share that with your audience?
Sure.
I think it establishes your set point, your basic
Yeah, I think that was a big turning point for me on this kind of buying into my own health and investing in my own health. I went to the doctor just for a regular checkup, and my blood pressure was totally out of whack. And he told me that if I didn't get it back in order, then we'd have to add to my medication. And I was not doing my health any good at all with my current lifestyle and my current weight, my current lack of exercise, et cetera, et cetera. So I decided at that point that I really didn't want to take on any more medication. My goal was really to reduce it, and I was going totally in the wrong direction. And so that was the major turning point for me. Major.
Amazing. Thank you. Because that can be quite frightening to be facing either more medication or fear of any sorts of complications that come as a result of having that increased blood pressure. So thank you. And some of you listening today may be able to identify that with that yourselves. So, all right. We had the impetus to do this with a woman sort of like-minded and like-aged as yourself. You had the health desire because you weren't happy with the way you were. You also shared that you had a goal that you really wanted to do something once you had lost the desired number of pounds. And it had been something that you'd wanted to do for a number of years. Can you share that with the audience? I think they'd be curious.
Yeah, I love to travel, and I travel a lot for work, and I travel a lot for pleasure. Obviously not at the moment, but my dream or my goal or whatever you want to call it is for when I finally retire is to catch one of those National Geographic cruises down to Antarctica and experience that while I'm able to. And to do that, obviously, I want to kayak, I want to hike, I want to do all sorts of things that I, at the time, and even now, I couldn't do. So I have some work to do to get to that dream.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, there's something very motivating about having that goal that almost scares you, which we've been calling it the keystone goal, that central goal that from all of that, all these other good things will flow. So let's talk results. We've gone through a number of weeks of coaching, and you have done some fantastic, I mean, absolutely incredible things. So I've been calling you my star student. So let's share with the audience what we're talking about. And I'm going to ask you to do me one little favor and just maybe turn your iPad a little more to your face, because your face is so lovely when you smile. There you go. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk results.
Well, there's been a lot of small results, I guess, that have built up to an overall weight loss and mental well-being. The first major thing that had to change for me to even get going was to cut wine out of my diet or my lifestyle. So that happened at the end of January. So that those empty calories were removed, and then we moved on with the diet. And I'm in the middle of Louisiana at the moment, so the availability of some foods are not here, but I've basically stuck with sugar-free as much as I can, and very, I would say, clean foods. So that's been a result. The diet has definitely changed, and I have a Weight Watchers membership too, and we track, and I continue to track everything I eat, so I can go back and look at how the week's gone with food, and also, my weight loss. So it's data, and I like data. The other component is, and it's the soft stuff that I really had a hard time with, because I don't live in the grey very well, and that's is journaling and understanding what that does for you. I'm told it at the beginning. I was told it was good, and I'm not sure I believed it. And I'll be honest, I fought with it, and now I'm probably journaling 5 days a week. Sometimes I don't know what to say, and I do it very technically and scientifically, and I bullet it. It's not flowing words, but I get something down on paper. And then the other thing that I've also done is I meditate. So you introduced me to that kind of nighttime meditation, and it was 6 weeks that we had to carry it on for 6 weeks. Well, ever since we talked about that, I've been doing that nightly and going to sleep with that. And I think it has, again, meditation was something I really didn't believe it did anything. But it kind of gave me, I think it has calmed me. I think it's calmed me a lot. And just, I think that's just it. It's hard to put into words, but it's a very calming, and it makes you accept much more easily, I think, what's going on through the day. And you don't get so fraught when things don't go quite the way they should. And then finally, I think the other thing is the exercise. I have been moving more. So when I first came here, I get my exercise by working out in 3 acres here. And when I first came here, I couldn't I could weed eat or strim for maybe about 5 minutes without having to give up. Now I've been doing exercising for hours and getting, close to 20,000 steps. So my fitness and my strength has improved quite dramatically. In fact, very dramatically, I would say. Very dramatically. And then apart from that, just introducing stretching as well. And I didn't do all of these all at once. I think someone asked me on the Facebook page, how I did it. And I realized that before I decided I was going to try and tackle everything at once and, get everything done. But that put me into a state of overwhelm. So what I had to do was just introduce something small every week and just try and build from there. Otherwise, I just went down to shutdown, and then I didn't achieve anything. So there's a lot of learnings, I guess, there, a lot of learnings, even outside the black and the white, which is still not easy for me. Still not easy.
So beautiful. I'm just so overwhelmed with the progress. I'm emotional. What can I say? My stars. I'm so glad you touched on that element of getting into a state of overwhelm when you're looking at 3Es, like, oh my gosh, I have to do everything. And you really listen to what made sense for you, that's appropriate, because once you have the 3Es program, it's really your playbook for the rest of your life. So you did well with that 100%. I also I know we focus a lot on weight loss, pounds lost, but the other day you and I were chatting about your working outside and measuring success in other ways. And I think we came up with a few things that probably you hadn't really sort of counted as black and white results. Do you remember what they were?
Measuring?
Yeah.
Like tape measuring?
Yeah.
Physical body measurements.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. That was one of them. Yes. And clothing were the two main ones. And so when I go back to Georgia, I said I was going to shop in my closet because I think I'm probably going to fit into some clothes that I haven't worn for a little while.
Incredible, just incredible. Also, the meditation, I think that was the mental block that was the biggest piece for you. And we were talking about things that are meditative in life, not just okay, I'm going to sit down and listen to some guided tape. But we were talking about how when you spent time outdoors, that became meditative. Was there a light bulb there for you too, Natalie?
In terms of it being meditative? Yeah. So I was thinking about that yesterday, actually, because I got up early and I worked, my 8 hours by 2 o'clock, because we're a global company, so we have to get on the phone early. And then I was outside in the yard. It was a beautiful day. It was like 22 degrees Celsius, I don't know, 72, 75 Fahrenheit, and no humidity for Louisiana. And I was just, I guess, in the present, I think is the word. I wasn't thinking about any corporate stuff. I was just in the present and watching out for snakes and just dealing with exactly what was going on there, which was, clearing out this part of this 3 acres. And it was kind of liberating, really. Just,
Stunning. Those are the moments, and that's the mindfulness. So yeah. Let's just rewind a few months back before you and I started working together. What would you say that is different about you now? Like, you're in Louisiana with friends, quarantining there, and have been for the last 8 weeks. What do you yourself know to be different about you now? And what do you think your friends or coworkers may say?
I am certainly I'm very much calmer, much calmer. I've been told by several people that I'm the most impatient person they've ever met in the world. So I think that is certainly coming through. I'm much more willing to listen rather than just do. So I do slow down. I do breathe now. I think they will have much more an appreciation that I am working on my health. It's clear to me that I am investing my time in that, and I think my balance between work and non-work has changed. It used to be like 90-10 or 95-5. It's a lot different now. I'm shutting down earlier, and I'm becoming much more social. Much more social.
That makes my heart happy to hear. It really does, because I know in the beginning, one of the words that I had written down on our consult was the word isolation, and that I think there was a lot of loneliness, and that can happen to us for various reasons. We become fragile and isolated, and these are factors that are contributing to the lack of wellness that many are experiencing. So I love hearing otherwise. Okay. So I know there are so many women listening now who are feeling the same way as you did before you started the 3 E's. If you could give them one piece of Natalie Harris advice on how to get started, what would it be from you?
To get started, I think one big piece of advice is working out a why you really want to do it. I had the blood pressure. It may be medical, it may be something else. And then just pick up one thing that you can do that day. Like drink 3 glasses of water that day, or just something that you can build on, because there's so many facets to this journey, and they can't all come together at once. For me, my first thing I started to do was I said I was going to track my food, whatever. If I ate half a pound of chocolate cake, that was going to go in my tracker. I was just going to own it and move on. But that's not the same for everybody, but just pick something, whether it's, moving every hour for 10 minutes from your desk, whatever it works for you. Just pick one thing and then build on that weekly.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Natalie. I think what's stood out for me through this whole journey with you is your absolute willingness to be coachable. You opened yourself up to the process, even when you were in doubt and couldn't always measure it. But you were so willing. And I think that is a wonderful jumping off point, is just absolutely the willingness to lay yourself bare and understand that if you're going to feel better and look better and change elements of your life, it has to start with a lot of letting go. So I thank you for sharing these tender moments, these raw moments, and I look forward to seeing the pictures of you on that National Geographic trip. I absolutely believe in you completely. In fact, I'm going with you. How about that?
There you go. I look forward to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we have our work cut out for us for the next couple of months. We know what's happening. We have a plan. And by the fall, perhaps that trip will be on your calendar, but we're going to work at it. And it's committed, not only in your mind, but in your heart and on paper. So I'll give the last word over to you, Natalie, for the audience who's listening, who is really basically hungry for that little piece of motivation from you.
All I can say is just give it a go. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. So, it's an investment financially, but the biggest investment really is in yourself.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone. I wish you a blessed time, a blessed duration of quarantine, whatever that means. Dig deep and remember, my passion is your wellness. And my great thanks to you, Natalie, for sharing your heart. Thank you.
You're welcome.